Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thanks for checking the video out. Just like the title said, I figured I'd kind of talk to you about that time I met Springsteen. Don't ask me why I thought about it, but it happened over 20 years ago. And I just kind of thought about it the other day and started going through the details of that day, that night. It was actually, just one of those moments over 20 years ago already, which is kind of crazy. Now, I know when, you mentioned Springsteen, you got a lot of opinions, good, bad, indifferent. I've got mine as well, good, bad, and indifferent. But when it comes to the music, I've always enjoyed it. So we'll leave it at that. So 1999 going into 2000, well, 99 in particular, Springsteen announces and goes on tour with the E Street Band, reunion, the first time in probably 11 years. I think the Tunnel of Love tour was 88, 89. I don't think he played it all with them, and that was it. So 99, gets the band back together. They go on tour. They go to Europe. They do a leg in the States, and then another leg in the States in 2000. It ends in, I think the final show was at the Garden. He did 10 nights at the Garden, and I was at 4 of those shows. I think the first 2 and the last 2. The last one being, I think, was July 1st of 2000. Those 2 shows, I believe, those 2 shows in particular, the last 2, are what he used for the album, the CD, Live in New York City, which we didn't know was coming out at the time. So, you fast forward, you go through the fall of 2000, winter of 2001, somewhere around that time, it's announced that Bruce has got a live album coming out. So, cool. So, it's coming out. I believe and I can't say this for sure now, the more I think about it, I want to say the release date was Tuesday, April 3rd or 2nd. If you're my age, back then, album release dates were on Tuesdays. It wasn't on, I think it's on Fridays now, but Tuesday was the day for album releases. You go, to me, it was, Compact Disc World. You go and you saw what was on the board or coming that day or down the road, and that was it. It was great. So there's this record store. I believe it's still there in Red Bank, New Jersey, on I think it's Broad Street, Jack's Music Shop. And somehow I found out, just through networking, and maybe he advertised, I don't remember, to be honest, that they were going to hold like a special midnight release of that album, that officially Tuesday, 12/01, that date, which I think it was April 2nd or 3rd, start selling the CD, which was cool. You make a little bit of an event. So I decided I'm going to go. For whatever reason, I brought a camera. To show you how long ago this was, I'm pretty sure the camera I had was a 1.3 megapixel camera. So if that says anything, you know how long ago that was. I went. The whole intention of going was to just get the album. Be one of the first ones to have the album, listen to it on the way home on a 5-disc changer in the car, and call it a day. So I get there. Didn't go with any of the people I knew at the time. I'm not even sure if they went, but I'm pretty sure I was there by myself as far as the people I knew. Get into the neighborhood. I believe the doors opened at 11:45 p.m. that Monday night, so that way people can get online, get the CD. Come 12:01 midnight, 12:01 Tuesday, you can officially start selling the release. And there was no talk of Bruce showing up at all. This was just kind of like a cool little event. I think Jax was even doing like raffles and giveaways, just to kind of make it a fun event. Nothing more than that. So I'm towards the front of the store. There's 2 entrances to the store. One to Broad Street, and I believe there's a parking lot in the back. So you can kind of walk from one end to the other, basically, from one front of the store to the back of the store. I'm towards the front of the store. I might have been online to check out, and I want to say it was like 15 minutes into it. It was like 12:15. You just kind of heard this rush of discussion coming from the back of the store to the front of the store, and all people kept saying was, "He's here, he's here, he's here." The look on people's faces like they didn't know what was going on. But he showed up. He came. Bruce Springsteen shows up out of the blue. Don't know, if he told the store they were coming or if he just showed up, but he showed up. I ended up paying for my CD up front there first, and then everyone at that point just kind of rushing to the back of the store where there was a counter. Apparently he just came in, sat on the counter back there, I think he had a Heineken with him, or they gave it to him at the store, and he just sat there, and he started signing and taking pictures for everyone that showed up. if any of you have the fanzine Backstreets, I don't remember, figure 2001, summer of 2001, whatever it was. He's on the cover of, that's the music store he's in right now, for that picture. And when you look inside, there's a picture, and you could see, this ugly mug, in one of the pictures, which was kind of funny. So I think what happened was, I got this camera in my pocket. I didn't, I brought it, just in case. You never knew, right? I'd rather be prepared than not prepared. And the dude shows up. So, trying to put a game plan together because everyone's rushed and everything, it's crazy. Orderly, but, kind of crazy because everyone's excited. So he's sitting on the counter and just a sea of people around him, and people are just handing him CDs and markers and all kinds of things, and he's signing everything. Even a few people on the cell phone, guys calling their girlfriends, "You're not going to believe this, Bruce is here." And like, "No way, I don't believe you." And, a couple times Bruce takes their cell phone and goes, "Hey, it's me," which was funny. It was kind of, in the moment, it was funny. So I'm trying to put a game plan together because I've got my camera. And there's no way I'm going to get a picture taken with people all over the place. And I'm kind of in the middle of this, almost like a mosh pit in a way, because it's just kind of circling the counter. So I figure, let me get the CD cover signed. And he signs it. It's cool. I'm out of there. It was kind of an in and out. You hand it and you move back to the line. People get things signed. They're leaving. And I'm like, I'm going to hang out for a little bit and just kind of see what happens here. The worst they can do is say you got to go. So as it continues, he just keeps signing, and the crowd gets less and less, smaller and smaller, until it was down to about a handful of people. And he was there for about an hour at this point, maybe a little bit longer. And I remember him saying, "Okay, anybody else need something," or something along those lines. And I said, "Hey, Bruce, how about, can I get a picture?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, come on." So I had to have been working with somebody there to take a picture, because it wasn't me, and there was, selfies weren't a thing back then, on the cell phone. So someone must have, I gave someone the camera, they took a picture of it. I got it, I think it's hanging in my studio. And he was the coolest guy. He kind of was sitting on the counter, put his arm around me. He actually smiled. A lot of the pictures, you see him and he's not even smiling, whether it's that event or other things. He got a nice smile on his face. It was, a cool moment, So Jack's in Red Bank back in 2001. Not that much, many of you care for that, but, just one of those moments, I'll never forget in terms of just being able to kind of, meet Springsteen. Again, opinions, you've got them, we've all got them, but it was a fun night. Just thought I'd share that with you. But if you do get a chance, I think Jack's is still open, actually, on Broad Street there in Red Bank. So check it out. A lot of vinyl there, I think, still, from what I remember. Cool little place. Got a chance to check it out. All right, that's it. That was it. So if you sat through that, thank you. All right, I'll see you on the next one.